we just came in from a very long flight, and the two traders we got to interstate an island, incidentally where I keep my boat. As an amateur boating enthusiast, one must be attentive to such things. As you know, I am Dr. Lewis. The focus of today's lecture will be places you will never go. But to which I have been. Over the course of this lecture, we will cover sweeping landscapes, snow-peaked mountains, and riotous sunsets. We'll take a quick detour through the Batics, and then use some extra special spots. We'll end with the answers to 5 randomly selected exam questions. Here you can see I'm crossing the Himalayas. They became quite fond of our shrimp on this trip and came to call him Alpha Beta 53AT after the Here we are in Madagascar, communing with the lemurs. There's a better effort to understand the process of mitosis. Oh yes, students last year found this to be quite helpful for their exam. Glad to see I've got something much stronger this time. And here you can see just a spectacular view of Mouallem. This, of course, encompasses Barber, Erogul, and Mount Doom. Down in the bottom, you can see a snapshot of us as we climb the northern pass. Here I had an opportunity to lecture at another institution. They were quite fascinated by the action of synaptic vesicles. However, their concept of cellular biology is quite thick. After this, we took a detour to Narnia. Fascinating adaptation to the capillaries in that region. And of course, I promised you a sunset. And nothing compares to a sunset. Here are the answers to the I do apologize for running over, but I did start 30 minutes late due to voting issues and such. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have some specimens to prepare. And I need to tell you, please limit your time before the next lecture to 20 seconds. So if you need to urinate, please use your empty coffee cups, etc., etc.
Can you hear me for the podcast? I'll take that as a yes silence. Podcast, incidentally, as you know, is from the Greek Patakostos. The young Athenian panflutists who would wait late in the day to lounge and listen to their dear course master's dulcet tones in an unrushed, self-reflective manner, preferably with a cistern full of the local winemaker's freshest batch. Cistern, as you know, from the Latin for shaped like a trough or basket, as in bulgy cisterna. Yes?
Do we have to know how to spell that?
Cisterna?
Oh no, podcast. Is that how you?
Is that another question in the back?
No, just checking for service.
Ah. So by now you know, we usually start with radiographs. The first structures I want you to appreciate are the building's windows. They are vestigial structures from when windows were used for daylight and outside. They now only line hallways and staircases, The system's temperature regulation is under postganglionic parasympathetic control. JK, it's a total shit show. And down here, we have our very own T-cell, the security guard. This is P53. Here we have a classroom CT with a contrast, of course. Just a few key points to appreciate. Notice the front row, where a very consistent group of the same faces will sit attentively and nod at my every word. Immediately after class, they ask questions that are recorded on the podcast. Here and here, classically, will be found those who slink in after lecture has begun. And yet feel free to ask questions about material I had covered before they walked in. Along the back here are those who totally don't care about me, and yet are still annoyed by those here and here, who, incidentally, enjoy conversing loudly and posting photos to Facebook of those in the middle section here, who, invariably, fall asleep the moment the lecture starts. It's a reciprocal feedback system. Finally, I want you to appreciate the presently known strains of Gunner. Gunning and proud of it. Rumored about and barely hiding it. And super secretive, but just can't help it. As you can see, the distribution follows Fick's laws of diffusion. Ah, Dr. Patan is here. Where you go?
Sausage fests at the emergency room where I work. Don't forget any of this stuff, guys, because it always comes back. Like that mysterious woman from your past.
So we go and get right down to it. There's something wrong with my microphone. So class, we know you're concerned about the upcoming exam, but don't worry. We're not going to quiz you on the details like in your other courses. Although we emphasize that this is one of the most important courses of your academic development, we find it works better when the class is not academically rigorous.
It leaves more time practicing mindfulness, like in the wonderful world of Warcraft.
Yes, Bart, I know it was very difficult for you to lose your Open Warrior Shaman level 17 status just the other week. Anyway, class, it's important that you listen to all the podcasts and review all the lectures extensively. Classroom time is precious. At no point do we ever engage in meandering, 30-minute conversations where instead of debating the facts, students just throw ideas back and forth willy-nilly without actually listening to what the previous speaker had said.
That kind of behavior is strictly reserved for small group.
It's really a precise balance between doing very little and doing absolutely nothing at all. It's one of the unifying themes for the course. Well, I'll be right back.
As Dr. Landesman was saying, romance is a very important part of medical school. There are tons of great activities you can do to promote mindfulness, like yoga and meditation. So guys, as you know, the world, it isn't black and white, it's gray. Here are some shades of gray. That reminds me of this book that I'm reading. I don't know if you guys know it, but it's very spicy, very spicy. But, you know, that's one of the things that I really want to stress in this course. And, you know, what I'm trying to say is when a man loves a woman, what I'm really trying to say is...
Did we get to the movie yet? So we thought we'd show you a short film about what it's really like to be a medical student. But first we've got a few slides. As you know, some medical students commit suicide. But did you know that even more medical students are depressed? And get this, nearly all medical students experience burnout. Students, look to your left and look to your right. By the end of your 4 years here, one of you will have wished that you got into law. Like my wife, the malpractice attorney. Don't worry, she's on the good side.
Attendings can get burned out as well, but nothing cures burnout like a smoking hot drug rip and a fancy steak dinner. Whenever you feel stressed out, this is what I like to do. You gotta remember the acronym that we taught you. The 7 F's, 9 U's, 12 C's, and the 15 in case. Say it over and over in your head. So you're thoroughly confused. Okay, let's watch the movie.
Turn the light off.